the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
And half a day. Thank you for tuning into INCRadio Micronesia. I am your host and producer here in the satellite studio, Sister Arlene Malikdem from the local congregation of Guam. And I'm here this evening with also my crew members and our guests this evening because we have an awesome topic to talk about. And if you have been following us here on INC Radio Micronesia, we always been talking really good ideas our about our skills in our jobs and how we can better ourselves as a person. So tonight we are talking about importance of continuous learning. And of course, I do want to introduce also my crew members this evening. So starting with Brother Michael.
Yes, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello again, and thank you. And we appreciate your setting aside time for our broadcast tonight. My name is Brother Michael, also from the locale of Guam, and we hope that you will sit back and relax and benefit from our broadcast tonight.
Yes, hopefully too, Brother Michael, that this is such a good topic to talk about because we are in this age of generation where we're always wanting to develop ourselves and be better. And of course, that why is it really important to continue to learn, right? And of course, with us is our guest this evening. You may not have seen her yet officially on INC Radio Micronesia. Although tonight I got her in here with us. So we want to go ahead and introduce our sister. Go ahead and unmute, sister, and go ahead and introduce yourself. That
Hello,
would
good
be
evening.
Hi, Sister Kat. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sister Catherine Pascual. I'm a choir member, also part of the district multimedia, also an area secretary. So, yes, that is right. This is actually my first time here in INC Radio Micronesia. However, I was part of INC Radio that was Southeast Asia 2 before, and INC Radio Thailand and Vietnam.
Wow. So you have known how to broadcast with us and also talk about awesome topics, even from far away from Guam. Thank you, Sister Kat. So what brought you to Guam? Because you mentioned all these different places. Let's talk about you and what do you do?
Yes, I'm new here, not really new, about 10 months.
Yeah.
10 months now, but I still always say, I'm new here in the island. Um, Maybe I'm a teacher by profession, but my family's here, so recently I decided to move here in Guam. So however, because I'm a teacher, so now I am teaching as well. I believe that's the only thing I can do. I know what to do.
Also, that's been your career is teaching. So, what a great way to have a guest who's a teacher because talking about learning and developing our skills. So, one more to have a better guest this evening. So, Sister Kat, are you available, Kadiwa, um, or are you taking Kadiwa?
Okay, I'm available, Kadiwa, for many, many years now.
So, Kadiwa means in the Church of Christ, those who are tuning into our broadcast are those are baptized that are not married in the Church of Christ that are 18 years and older. So, Sister Kat is such a wonderful sister, such a wonderful woman. I hope one day you will be, taken. You would have find that special person for you. So now we're gonna go ahead and just dive into our discussion right now. And we want to talk about, since you're a teacher, what are some ways one can develop their knowledge and their skills?
You know, I am, as a teacher, of course, I believe in the importance of learning. And as a teacher, after I graduated, my first degree is Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in mathematics. However, after graduating, I taught English, ESL, and then one of my friends is a kindergarten teacher and then encouraged me to teach kindergarten. And it was very important for me to learn the kindergarteners, the young learners. And so in order for me to give them and care them uh, the level the level of education they need, so I enrolled for another course. So that one. And then I believe it's also important because we know that um, the world is changing. So if it's enhancing, then we definitely also be enhancing. Not only that, attending seminars maybe should also be added, like short courses if you cannot have it for the entire semester, or maybe particular skill you want to enhance, and then read personal research through internet, things like that.
Agree, Sister Kat, you had mentioned so many different ways of developing your knowledge. Yeah, if you have a company that you work for and they're able to share you some seminars, especially the free ones, right? You don't have to pay for it. uh, be able to take advantage of that, because those things will also help you to further your career. And of course, the new thing these days is always going online, right? Finding those videos. It may be those really short videos where it kind of tells you like how to do this and how to do that, or like this is a skill I learned in a specific website, and they're sharing it. Those are like super fast, quick, easy learning like ways of developing your skills. Now, you have mentioned such a general idea, Sister Kat, but for your personal background, what is something other than not just your career, but your personal skills that you want to further encourage yourself to do?
Um, Engaging into sports, I'm not so much into sports. Maybe because my mom was always like very protective. And then I used to join a volleyball team, but then my mom was like, "Oh no, you should stop playing volleyball. I couldn't see you in the choir loft anymore because I'm a choir member since I was a kid, since I was a kid." So I
Yeah.
stopped. But then when I was already like old, and then there was a time one of my friends was asking me to go to the gym. So I felt like instead of paying money, putting my money in the gym, it's also a kind of physical exercise. I
Right.
felt like, okay, I'll just pay for a trainer, tennis trainer. So I spend my money by learning something which is a kind of sport. I'm not saying that gym is not important. It's just saying that I was thinking that time that if I'm going to spend something, I'd like to spend it to something I would be able to learn something.
Oh, I agree. Especially if it's like that one-on-one tutorial, right? I
Yeah.
believe with the money that you spend for a trainer, you are able to get the full attention, the full package, the idea of like how to play tennis, like for example that you have mentioned. And I like that, one-on-one kind of tutorial lessons to further your skill in tennis. So thank you. I never knew you liked the sport tennis. It gives me memories back in high school, because I also joined tennis as well. It's a really good workout, I can honestly say that. I know I was in pain for a while because of the running, the short bursts of running, and yeah, it's a good cardio exercise. I enjoyed it too. Now we're gonna go back with mentioning our topic, right? Now, you mentioned about all the different ways how one can develop their knowledge and their skill. Now, what should one be mindful of? Like, is there some sort of way, or there might be a step or a danger that might be, be one to be careful when pursuing or furthering their knowledge and their skills as an individual?
Yes, definitely. There was a time I read this something like education is learning. All education is learning, but not all learning is education. So we learn a lot of things in this world, but that doesn't mean that's education. So we have to be mindful, is it an education or it's just a learning? And then when we do it, because everybody does things online. So I took one of my postgraduate diploma in early childhood care and education. I took it online, and then before I make the payment, of course we have to pay for that. And I asked people, is it credible? And then I checked reviews online and Facebook, and then before I enrolled, and also I tried to consider, is it going to be helpful for me? Is it going to add? Is it good to add to my resume as a teacher as well? Those are the main considerations that I thought of whenever I do things online or enhancing my education or skill.
That's good to really point out, Sister Cat, because yes, these days everything is so available, and the internet is the one that really makes it so available for us, right? And many people like to use that sort of channel to get further into their education, getting their degree, like how you did it. And that's good that you asked those questions of credibility, right? Making sure, because making that payment and then it's not a credible university or something, it's not going to be good. You wasted hundreds of dollars just for something that is not a credible school. And that's good that that we tend to always be mindful of that. And you're right about the whole, is it an education or is it a learning? Because a lot of videos these days now is just really short and simple and really straight to the point, versus when you do have an education, you have that substance, that understanding that, oh, this is how we come to this conclusion, and then the professor or the teacher will actually tell you the reasons why. So yes, I can honestly say, like, it it the internet is very, very volatile and very out there, open for anybody to really grasp for learning, to hone their skills. And I'm gonna just put something in there, Sister Cat, since we're all part of the district multimedia group in our church, right? So I want to mention, like, for my husband, brother Randy, and also brother Michael, right? uh there a lot of them are both of them are pretty much self-taught. Am I correct, brother Michael? If you can unmute, is that correct? You both are
Somewhat,
self-taught. So
somewhat self-taught.
yeah,
Probably like half, like 50-50, I would
like
say.
50-50. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say, for like my husband, brother Randy, he would always quote this, but he says, "Oh, I learned from YouTube University." But that means, like, he always seems to follows certain creators in YouTube, so he can hone his skills in, like, photography, in videography. And also, I know brother Michael does that too. So it's very easy to say, like, it's a learning thing, but also educational, but it's also to help develop and enhance. But of course, we always have to be careful for the credibility, if it's a legitimate site, and especially if it's for education, like what Sister Catherine said, make sure that before you make that payment, right, we have to be mindful of making sure that it's a good university or good website to actually move forward with. So we talked about that now, Sister Kat. Thank you for giving us your input with what to be mindful of, the sort of danger around it, right? Now, now we want to mention, why do you feel, or why do we all feel that it's important to have or to keep on learning? As a teacher, you had mentioned it a little bit in the first earlier in our discussion, but let's go ahead and go forward with it a little bit more, especially when it influences our different aspects of our life, like such as family, our school, our work, our personal goals. Why is it important?
Yes, like I mentioned a while ago, that the world is becoming globally competitive.
Mm.
And once it is, then it is important for us to be competitive as well. I remember when I was starting teaching, I was younger than the parents of my students, but now I am older than them. So, and then I feel like I am wiser. I don't feel shy anymore, which I used to feel when I was a younger teacher. But because I feel like I'm older and wiser, and I was able to, if they are going to ask me questions, I can confidently answer them, which, when you learn something, it boosts your confidence.
Correct.
Uh,
I agree with you. Yes.
right? So, and then um, whenever there are things happening around you, you could relate. Like you can say something about it and say, "Oh, I read that. Oh, I learned that." And we are aware of our surroundings as well, which is very important. We know what's happening around us. And yes, I believe those are some of the things that could be important.
I like how you mentioned to be aware of what's around us, because you're right. We come through this generation where even the jargon, the words that are being said these days, is very, very unique. And we don't want to be left behind, right? Us, we don't want to be left behind. And there are times I could honestly say, I know you have mentioned this prior to our broadcast this evening, that we have to Google it sometimes, right? We have
Yes.
to Google the words, 'cause we don't want to be left behind, and not knowing, right? Not knowing what to say, how to keep up a conversation about the current events or anything like that, anything that has to do now with this day and age. Because if you don't go forward and saying, for example, if you don't go forward in trying to learn how to really use different applications on a computer, or even basically on a phone, a smartphone, then you're going to be left behind, because the technology is just vamping up so fast. And that is there to enhance our one, creativity, productivity, but also help us to be better, as to use certain skills to make ourselves um, be better for our personal goals, or even for our work, right?
Yeah.
And I like how
Another
you mentioned that.
Yes, another thing is that because I'm a teacher, even though my students are young learners, they are young children, they have a lot of questions, and they even tell me that. No, Miss Kathy, I watched this, I like this, and I went there and that. And then they always have, what is that? Whenever they hear words or see things, they would ask me, what is that? If I'm not going to be um, seeking for enhancement or learning, then I might answer them. I do not want to answer them, I don't know, but I can say that if I don't know, something that they ask, then I'll check on that. But however, as a teacher, you always want to have an answer to their question.
Agree, right? Because you are the teacher and the student is asking a question. That is correct. So yeah, I love how for your teacher perspective that yes, learning is very important. That's the first thing we always want to do is continue to develop ourselves. Thank you, Sister Kat, for your time this evening with our lovely topic this evening. And the YouTube chat is just wow, it's so busy. I would love to hear so many YouTube comments, and that will be with Sister Avi pretty soon. But you know what? What more can we do to actually close this discussion with the verse of the week video? So please take a look at this verse of the week video, and to find encouragement from our brother that is presented in this video. Take a look.
In today's busy world, there are so many distractions that can pull us away from what actually improves our lives. Social media, video games, they steal our time. So what should we focus on so that we don't waste our time or end up in poverty? I'm Brother Ramel V. San Pedro, and for our verse of the week, I'll be sharing with you what's written in Proverbs 19:8. Those who get wisdom do themselves a favor, and those who love learning will succeed. So you see, we need to focus on gaining more knowledge and improving our skills. The knowledge we gain in school and through self-learning is essential for a bright future and achieving our dreams. It's crucial not to lose focus and instead invest our time in researching the field that interests us in order that we learn what concrete steps we need to take to get to where we want to be. That's why getting that degree or certification is so important. Yes, prayer is always important, but also remember that God will bless the hard work and labor you put in. So, invest in yourself and your future. To our friends, we would like to invite you to gain the most valuable knowledge. Join us in our Bible studies and study God's words with us here in the Church of Christ. This is the knowledge that will lead you to be close to God and ensure your eternal future.
And on that note, thank you so much for playing that, Kuya Tech. So we have so many brethren tuning into INC Radio Micronesia, and we would like to say thank you to all of those who have been participating and have been commenting on our YouTube live chat for tonight. Before I get ahead of myself, I am Sister Avian Augustine, or Sister Avi for short. I am from the local congregation of Guam. I am one of your YouTube engagers for tonight. And if you don't already know, here's a short YouTube plug for you to listen to.
Hello, Team Live Chat! We love hearing from you, but we want to know, where are you tuning in from?
Have you heard about our hashtag challenge?
That's right! Don't forget to hashtag your local congregation in the comments down below.
Not only that, hashtag your CFO too.
And at the end of the show, find out who won our hashtag challenge.
Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the show.
That's right. So I see a lot of brethren who have already been doing that. And I'll start off with Eileen Crelencha. She says, love and greetings from hashtag Jigo and hashtag Koro Palau. Have a great show, INC Radio Micronesia. Going on to Mario Oka. He says, good evening here in the Philippines and enjoy watching. Greetings from the locale of Brixtonville, District of Caloocan North. Thank you for tuning in po. We also have Sister Randy. She's one of our YouTube engagers there in the live chat as well. She was answering one of our discussion questions, which was, what are some ways of developing your knowledge and skills? And she says, some ways of developing my knowledge and skills is definitely reading more books It helps expanding my vocabulary and knowledge in literature, especially as an, as an aspiring educator. Going on to, we have two birthday celebrants. One of them is our Mark Krilencia. He's the resident minister in the locale of Jigos. Happy belated birthday to you po. As well as the wife of our district minister, Sister Melody Supilio. Her birthday is soon po. So happy birthday to both of you po. We also have Brother Roger Villegas saying good evening po to our district minister, Brother Joven Supilio Jr. and his family po. Good evening to our assistant district minister, Brother Julius Malabanan and his family as well po. Good evening, brethren. Thank you for tuning in. And speaking of our district minister and our assistant district minister, both of them have commented in the live chat. So thank you so much for your support po. And they said happy, Joven says happy viewing district of Micronesia. And Julia says, greetings to brethren in hashtag Micronesia. Happy viewing. Thank you so much for tuning in po. And those are all of the YouTube comments that I see so far. Arlene, and back to you po.
All right, thanks, Avi, for reading those comments. And before we dive into our next segment, we'd like to ask our Kuya Tech to play that bumper for us.
CFO in action.
All right, so within this week, we had a couple meetings, one of which was just a few days ago with the CFO in each locale, and their topic was Christians' Guide to Group Chatting. Okay, and we'd like to give a heads up to Micronesia's lineup for the next weekends that we have. We have the Unity Games, and this is a 5-week long activity or event starting, you can guess it, tomorrow, Sunday. So let's prepare for our equipment, ourselves, exercising, all of that, so we can, you know, improve our love of the brotherhood and our unity together.
Thank you, Kuya Michael. So next up, we have local hashtag winner for last week's broadcast as well as the week before that. So August 10th and August 17th. So for our local hashtag winner for the August 10th is Garapan and Saipan. Woo! Thank you so much for your support and hashtagging. And so next last week, our most supportive local is Saipan. Oh, that will be next month, but our other local that was our most hashtags winner is Saipan from last week. But now our most supportive winner, which is being shown on the screen, is Sister Misha Giang and Brother Roger Villegas Jr. Thank you so much both for commenting and hashtagging away and being supportive in our YouTube live chat.
Agree, Sister Avi, and thank you again. Garapan and Saifan always triumph, always the winners usually in our YouTube comments. So thank you so much for your love and support. We always love your comments here on INC Radio Micronesia. And of course, I do review all the comments too. So shout out to everyone I try to tag usually on the YouTube chat for always being here on our broadcast. We also want to invite you also for next week. We're always here at 10 o'clock p.m. Every Saturday. So we'll see you next week on the 31st.
And to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and to our SIPSI President, CEO, and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Irano Manalo, we thank you so much both for your continuous love and support for us in INC Radio.
And we'd also like to extend our thank yous to the district staff in our district. First, to our district minister, Brother Joven Sapilio Jr., our assistant district minister, Brother Julius Malabanan, and to our CFO overseer, Brother Daniel Jeffrey Monar, and also to the DMM advisor, Brother Roger Villegas Jr., and to all of our crew members here in the Micronesia Satellite Studio. And lastly, We continue to thank you for your hard work and supporting and guiding us. To our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel and Daya as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Paul. The district is so awesome for all your support, and also to Kuya Manly. We want to say good night to Micronesia, so good night. And also coming up next will be Washington D.C. and I believe it is the morning over there. So good morning to that side of the world. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Sister God.